Okay, welcome. So, this is what I'm gonna do. You know what? I'm gonna grab this traffic cone. And I'm gonna plop it down here. And I'm gonna grab this other traffic cone. Let me just flip it back on its feet like this, right? And I'm gonna plop it right next to it. This way, I can block off all incoming traffic. So hopefully people, anyone traveling down the highway, they'll see those traffic cones and they'll just, turn around. This is a really lovely Soviet era truck. I think it's called Zell or GAS gas, one of those. But anyway, we are pulling up to a very, very interesting location. So I don't really trust that village. It looks really peaceful and quiet and tranquil and it looks very inviting. But guess what? As soon as you get close, a squad of Overwatch soldiers are going to spring out of every nook and cranny. Like a surprise attack, motherfucker.
Stop! You violated the law.
And next thing you know, you got both your hands pinned down, to the ground and your backside violated every way it can be done. Because, well, these guys are posted out here for weeks on end. No ass, no nothing. Come on, I mean, you can't like self-pleasure yourself all the time. And then Freeman comes along, slim, trim, 160, rocking that slick HEV suit. Come on, man. And look, right off the bat, there's a head crab that just, comes springing out at me right in my face. Ooh, that is really inviting. Let me remind you that Freeman hasn't seen a woman in several decades. In fact, I do believe that he's a complete virgin, that he's never seen a woman to begin with. He's got absolutely no experience. The only women he has seen, they were all in like magazines and stuff. But anyway, this is Lambda location number 28. And I'm just going to totally like demolish this whole place, just tear it down. And yeah, pop both these crates to get to the goodies inside of them. And there's this lovely spade. I wish I could like dig holes. I would gladly, bury those two head crabs right next to one another. I believe they had a relationship, until I came along and just totally crowbarred both of them. And look at that village down below. Something is really telling me to give it a wide berth, which is exactly what I'm doing right now. So this tunnel is completely sealed off. It's behind a force field. There's no getting past that. And it looks like there's another force field. God damn it, I can't speak today. Oh, what a drop. That's preventing all access. Oh, that's a dead man. Okay, so this guy, yeah, see that's why sometimes you really wanna fire a few supercharged blasts from your tower cannon, because you never know when you might hit something and kill something like that guy. Beautiful. And there's someone in that shed over there. I'm just going to keep my distance. This is how you do it. You show up out of nowhere and just guns blazing. You go in like this, carefully, step by step. Yeah, there's definitely someone inside that, because I heard some like combined radio chatter, and there's okay, I've stirred up hell.
Watch your back!
I've totally stirred up hell. Here they come, and there they go. Oh god, just keep your distance from these assholes. Now, obviously, there's no one right way to do it, to approach this village. Feel free to, to handle it any way you like, right? Really, this is, completely up to you. Half-Life 2 is linear, but it's not that linear that, there's only one way to do things. And these windows, you know what? This couch looks inviting. I haven't had a nap in a while, so let me just grab 40 wings. See you in a bit. All right, waking up. Beautiful. I just had a lovely restorative nap. I feel bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and ready to go, full of fuel, really pumped up. Hold on. I hope there's no one's hiding inside that wardrobe. That would be a shame. There's more goodies back here. And look, this is it's a very unique. Hold on. Let me just handle these windows first. Windows. there's this lamp that is really unique. You can't find it like very often in the game. No, so it's just a piece of junk. And this kind of chair as well. Look what happens when you smash it a few times. It just, falls apart into wooden bits and chips, which makes no sense because it looks like every bit like this couch, but it's like hit on this couch all you want, nothing will happen. But that chair, which is exactly what makes it unique. This propane jerry can is coming with me because in this wheelbarrow, fuck off. So yeah, there goes that guy. Look at him dead. And if I remember correctly, yeah, that was a shotgunner. Obviously, we're like out in the open, so shotgunners aren't as deadly out in the open unless they really just close in on you out of nowhere. But still, every squad is usually led by a shotgunner, so you want to take care of those guys first. There's this plaque. It says Never in 54. Now, I covered this I believe in the second episode of Highway 17, chapter Highway 17. So I'm not going to waste my time talking about it again, just yapping on about the same thing. These plastic, like hamper baskets, whatever they call them, they gotta go. Now, this house, count the floors. 1, 2, 3. There's exactly 3 floors to this house.
Ooh, nobody gives a shit!
Because if you count the floors from the outside, it's gonna be 3 floors exactly, every single time. And the last one looks like an attic or something like that. Now, if you set foot inside and try getting up to that 3rd floor, well, good fucking luck with that. Not only does the floor suddenly cease to exist, there is no indication whatsoever that there was ever any 3rd floor to begin with. Like, it would make sense if there was a boarded up door, or a pile of rocks, or a cave-in blocking access that made it look like the 3rd floor is still there, just off limits for whatever reasons, but the interior doesn't reflect that at all. In simple terms, the interior doesn't even hint at there being anything beyond the 2nd floor. Now, if you go inside, something will happen. Watch this. So I'm gonna just open this door, set foot inside. Obviously, the door is going to like close back on its own. Ghosts are not all that uncommon in this world, and there's this like fireplace with a chimney, like an exhaust, a chimney that is actually accessible, but you can't really use it unless you're up on the 2nd floor, which I'll be working on that in just a second. But first of all, every window I see, gotta go. I hate Windows, especially Windows Vista. Oh my goodness, beer! I can't believe this is, I scored. Unless Barney came through here, who would leave? You know what? Those Overwatch soldiers, they had it really good. It must have been their best posting ever. And there's like a bunch of junk here. We've seen it before, but there's one thing that you really want to pay attention to. Just keep a sharp eye out for this newspaper. There's one of those cars on the back. But look, that's Breen's face. It says it's the terminal. It's like the local in-game newspaper. And it has Breen's ugly mug on it. What a jerk. What a jerk. And look, this kitchen, by the way, is creepy as hell. It looks like one of those giant commercial, like, freezers or fridges. You don't see these, like, anywhere else. And there's this, like, hand-powered, oh my god, like, meat grinder with a bunch of blood on the floor. So really just, you kind of, like, you want to ask yourself, what did this place used to be? Did it used to be some kind of like bed and breakfast? Or were they torturing someone in that kitchen? Hell if I know. Really. And look, there's no one. And then suddenly there's a poison head crab. Zombie. And, it may not look out of place at all. I mean, come on, we've seen poison zombies before, and this is Half-Life 2, right? So they show up everywhere, and we're out in the wasteland, so what's the big deal, right? If anything, he fits right in. But here's the deal. Question is, oh my god, look at that face. He did not have, that kind of face says it all. He certainly did not have the time of his life hanging out with those with all those head crabs. But the question is, where did he come from? Because here's the deal, unless he wandered in here from somewhere way beyond Point Bridge, which kind of is possible, right? There's no sign of any headcrab canisters nearby that would explain how a zombie even got here. What I mean is, if this guy used to be a Resistance member manning this place before the Combine rolled in and took over, there would have been signs of headcrab canisters to suggest he fell victim to the aerial assault and just ended up turning a zombie in his own house. Like I said, I scoured this entire area for any signs of those canisters and I couldn't find anything. And how's he even right here in the middle of an Overwatch-controlled outpost? Like, wouldn't the troops here want to get rid of him if only for personal safety reasons? So unless they had been keeping this guy around as a pet zombie, this one should have been neutralized long ago. And just like that, you can drop back down to the first floor using that fireplace. But beyond that, where is any evidence of, what would look like a third floor? You know what? Never mind. I'm just gonna grab this chair and bring it along. It's coming with me. I feel like sitting down for a minute, just catching my breath, enjoy the view and relax. Again, not exaggerating, not blowing this up past any reasonable, proportions, but that house has given me some serious heebie-jeebies. Much like this one, there's not a whole lot going on except for this poison head crab, zombie hanging out on that rocky shelf down below. So I'm just gonna toss this jerry can at him, right? Roast this guy, Barbie him. I wish I could spit roast him, honestly, using my own 25-inch shaft. It has tilt control as well. Who am I kidding? It's a 35-inch. But I was just trying to be, humble. Because humility is my mother's maiden name, and her first name was Hope Humility. Over here, it just dropped down. Oh, no. Oh, God, that what happens. That's what happens when you're not, watching your step. So watch your step and watch your back. Okay, well, we're not making the same mistake twice, and if you come around the back of this house, there's this little, shelf, trail, whatever it is. Not sure what you would call it, like a footpath. And just follow along, right, until you get across. And just gonna wait for these assholes to, to finish getting roasted. Barbied, as they would say in Australia. I'm not a, Aussie. Whatever. And I know there's... Whoa, you know what? I never actually went this far back, along this little cliff. But, that's nice. Well, doesn't look all that, well, that boat wreck. You know what? I'm going to destroy it to shit, just like that. And I'm gonna pop it with yet another rocket. Boom, gone. Right? That's a really nice sandy beach down there. It's too bad you can't, hang out on that beach with some bitches, I don't even know why I'm speaking like that. That grass is absolutely freaking out, just hanging off of the hill, hanging off of the edge of the hill. I can't speak English today, so I'm speaking British. I don't know why I'm actually speaking like that. No offense if you're from, Great Britain. I have no problem with, Brits or brothers from, across the ocean. Just going to check out what's back here. Nothing. Well, to be completely honest, I know exactly what I'm doing. And I know for a fact there's going to be nothing back here if I just follow this little ledge all the way around. But, oh, fucking bird. Angry birds. Well, you know what? You know what beats angry birds? Dead birds. Sorry, I just had a beer. It's coming back up. Anyway, listen, never mind. I know I'm kind of speaking out of my ass here, but what are you gonna do? This is like one of the most boring parts of the game. And not this bridge, but just, until you get to a certain point, it's kind of boring. Fuck off, bird. Wow, birds are really, really not sturdy, but, persistent little cunts. Wow, well, Freeman is definitely a bloodthirsty fella. He should be charged with first degree burns, not burns, but like murders. All the birds he has dropped so far, it just knocked those little guys out of the sky. But anyway, yeah, and look where we are. Finally, oh, there's the barnacologist, sucking something. I don't even know what they suck. Like what? How would a barnacle just hanging from that bridge even, survive? There's not enough prey coming through unless he's been feeding on birds alone. I don't know. I'm gonna grab this chair and just place it here. That's it. That's all I wanted to do with that chair. Yeah, just like that. Just move it from A to B. And nothing back here. Son of a bitch. I knew it. I should have known. But you know what? At bare minimum, I'm just gonna smash their windows, Just windows. Alright, so what are we looking at here? To be completely honest, can someone, give me a manual? Like, hey, do this. Go downstairs. Alright, climb this ladder. All the way down. Look around, climbing back up. I know, I'm kind of talking nonsense. Alright, here we go. Just make a leap of faith and land on this little catwalk down here. Walkway, gangway, whatever it is. And then just really work your way, shimmy along these more fucking birds. I was saying, shimmy your way across these support beams. Really carefully, really just watch your step. Don't forget to smash their windows, right? You want to check that box. Don't let it go unchecked. And if memory serves me right, there's supposed to be... Oh, there he is. Yeah, kind of knew. I knew you were there. I knew you would be there. And I'm gonna knock these barrels off of the edge, just like that. There's some more, orange dildos over here. In case you haven't seen a woman or a man in a while, feel free to have some fun. And there's a train, passing across the bridge, overhead. And it's really just making this whole place shake like hell. Look at that. By the way, there is no, single way to do it. Obviously, you can, traverse this bridge in these, support beams and struts any way you want to do it. Like I said, really, it's up to you. By the way, as soon as you grab this crossbone, 2 Overwatch soldiers will show up across the bridge on the next platform over, guns blazing and all that. But if you pass this first platform by without ever setting foot on it, take a detour along the gangway that runs alongside the side of the bridge. But the time you get to the other platform, the same one where the soldiers should have appeared, well, they never do. Not only that, but there's absolutely no signs of them coming from anywhere else. And it's another one of those burn-faced dudes. Really, make no sense. Who burned his face here? Alright. The ones that we've been seeing so far, they kind of made sense. Fuck off, bird. Fuck off, bird. And look at that, there's 2 more medkits down here. And the real question is, who left? Who really just left these? Who figured it was a good idea to climb all the way down here and leave these 2 medkits down here? For what purpose exactly? Just in case someone, I don't know, falls down, breaks their neck so they can, patch themselves up real quick? Is that it? Is that why? So some of the medkits you find in this game, they're just placed in the weirdest, locations. Unless it used to be a resistance outpost, which I doubt. This bridge looks too high profile to have ever been held by the resistance. Really makes no sense to me. More medkits. Really, I'm starting to think that, Half-Life 2 takes place in Canada. Really, just all this free healthcare just laying around everywhere. It's gotta be Canada. Yeah, I realize, really, this goes without saying, I realize that I'm kind of wasting my time here. Just what am I doing? Just blowing up old, boat wrecks with grenades. But this I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just cover my tracks and really just dump this body in the water below. And the body did not sink. Do you even realize what that means? Well, here's the deal, fellas. An old Russian, or rather Soviet proverb holds that shit does not sink. So the fact that guy did not sink means he ain't shit. And over here, there's a bit of a secret. It's really just easy to... You can play this game for years and never discover this, but it's all about the angle, right? If you stand like this on top of this railing and look over there, look at that. There's another Overwatch soldier up on that watchtower. So really just feel free to knock him over the edge. Like, it's really convenient that we have all this water and the sea down below. It's very useful for dumping bodies. You know, sleep with the fishes, kind of mafia style. Alright, well, down here, and man, all these stairwells, Jesus, I feel sorry. You know what? I feel like being a combined soldier posted on this bridge, you get a lot of exercise, just climbing all these ladders and stairs, you know. You'll never go fat. And now I'm going to sneak up on those fellas. Oh, no, oh, how did you see me coming? My goodness. Oh, I see, because I had whacked their friend up on the watchtower, they were probably well aware. Oh god, look at that. Beautiful. And since this whole bridge is really crawling with supplies of infinite like RPG ammo, you might as well just splurge a little bit, right? So feel free to use your RPG, you know. It's really good. You know, it comes in handy not only, you know, like when you're taking down drop ships or gunships, but also for like really just clearing out places like this. But for now, I'm just gonna stick to my mag. Okay, you know what? For a 2004 video game, this AI is good enough. It's still holding up pretty well, even to this day. I mean, it's not spectacular anymore, not stellar, but it's good enough. It does the job. And now, okay, we got some more supplies over here. This is not a Lambda location, just some, you know, random supply drop. Not a drop, but you get the idea. Fuck off, barrel. Look at all this chain link. But what I really wanted to show off was that soldier over there, the one that's now nailed to the wall. Look at him. It went all the way through. It really just ran him through and pinned him to the wall. Look at that. Goodness. And you can even have some fun like whacking him with the crowbar. Look at him. Yeah, so the AI in the fact that, like, this is a 2004 video game, keep that in mind. So the physics and the ragdolling physics are amazing. San Andreas came out in 2004 and it had no ragdolling physics. It was really just stiff. It was a bunch of like pre-rendered animations, like death animations, and that was it. But this game really just like, you know, ragdolling at its best. Oh! It was just so... He was so calm and just composed on his post. Oh god! Oh Jesus, what did I just do? Are you... Oh god, is that some kind of sick fetish of yours? Look at them, they're like touching their assholes. My god. Why did I have to put that image in my head? How did I get this image out of my head? Right, fellas, I'm just gonna bash and smash your tables in the meantime. Yeah, you guys are messed up. Look at that shit. So, if you follow these stairs all the way down here, there's gonna be more crates, supply crates. So, not all that exciting, just some, you know, 9mm ammo. But there's something else. These cans of white paint, obviously we don't care about them, but there's this propane tank. And you can grab it with your gravity gun, much like you did in Ravenholm, and use it to really just light up your enemies, light them up. Like cigarette, just set them on fire, barbecue them. And sometimes you're lucky and, you know, several enemies get caught in the blast. This time only one guy. And that's okay too. Just, you know, a little offbeat, a bit of an offbeat way to do it. So I'm just gonna throw some stuff out this window right here, you know, clean up this mess. What a mess. But really just curious, so far, what are your thoughts on Overwatch soldiers, guys? I know, like, Metro Cups, you know, they look every bit like Metro Cups, so yeah, knock this little plug out of the socket using your... You can use your gravity gun, you can pop a grenade, you can like, really just, you know, place a shot with your pistol, whatever, it works. There's this, like power suit station right next to a medkit station, not a medkit, but a medical station, first aid station, more supplies, and finally, it looks like we're at it. This is the control bridge for this entire setup. Now to figure out how to drop that force field up on the bridge. Oh, there we go, bridge access active, alright? Well, obviously Freeman doesn't know what a keyboard is, he has no idea what that is. He has been living under a rock this whole time. You know, 20 years in stasis. What are you gonna do? But if you interact with this switch over here, the screen will be blinking red, indicating that the force field has been deactivated. So, and what's funny is that you can only throw that switch once. You can for some reason you can't push that button back in to put the force field back on. It makes no sense. Then again, maybe it's some kind of like safety protocol, whatever. So, but it looks like we've stirred up hell. Not only more Overwatch troopers are coming to rip me a new one. Whoa, that's a shotgunner. See how useful these propane tanks are? Really just light them up. Light them up? Okay, but from the sound of it, there's something else out there. Yeah, I figured there would be a flying dildo. What are you doing? Quit tearing shit up. You're trying to kill me, not, tear this whole bridge down. Although I feel like the Combine, like myself and Freeman being such a high priority target, they wouldn't hesitate to like pull this whole bridge down if it meant, killing me. So I'm just gonna take a seat and consider my options. And alright, we fight. You know what? But here's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna show you how to do it a really cool way. So really, just never mind this guy. You can obviously use your RPG, start shooting rockets at him, just fighting back right now. But to be honest, I don't recommend it. So really just like just rush your way back across all these struts and support beams. Watch it though, right? Like it's very easy to like slip off the edge and break your goddamn neck when you're in a hurry. So feel free to maybe shoot this guy several times, right? But don't kill him. The trick is to do a number on him without actually, like knocking him out of the sky permanently. Since I'm playing on, hard difficulty, it's like 6 rockets. It takes 6 missiles to completely, like 6 direct hits to completely just destroy this guy. So I've already scored 5, so I'm gonna leave that last one for later. There's more like ammo over here, more health kits. Like I said, there's like plenty of health kits here. But anyway, like I said, ignore this guy and just head all the way back across the bridge, right where you came from, right to that point, that door. And the trick is to, like I said, to leave him alone, alright? And as soon as you... Where is he? Is he still at? Oh, yeah, there he is. He's not gonna leave you alone. But as soon as you set foot through this door back here, you'll get a loading screen. Look what happens. He's gone. He's gone. Completely and permanently. And there's a bit of a scuffle going on over there between 2 different species, of the local flora, or fauna, rather. But anyway, and now we can see like antlions getting a little rowdy and out of hand. Is that because we dropped the force field? Is that why? But check this out. Go. Leave me alone, you cunt. If you go back and get another loading screen, suddenly that guy's, still out there, still rocking out with his cock out. So that's just hilarious. I don't know. And the way I discovered it, really, it was like purely by... No, it was not by accident. Actually, I knew what I was doing. I was like, what if I tried to leave him alone? Is he going to, like, dog me and just follow me all the way so long? Yeah, and you can do this trick with the door by, going through that door, in and out, all you want, and it will keep happening infinitely. That guy will disappear and reappear, as long as you keep doing it. So really just funny. And now that we're done here, we can really just proceed and get back in my car and, scoot right across that bridge. Look at that bridge. By the way, one last thing that makes absolutely no sense to me, and I'll be talking about that in just a second, so... Oh, and look, we have company. We got enemy contact. It's too bad I'm out of crossbow ammo. But that's okay. Where do you think you're going, eh? Oh god, yeah, dropping these guys, never gets old. And you guys really think that like 4 combines, like who gave this order? Think about it. By now, the Combine and the Overwatch know well enough who they are dealing with. They probably have like a huge profile, not a profile, like a complete profile of Freeman and his abilities. I get that it hasn't been that long since, he's been up against like the Overwatch troops. So the Overwatch brass, not brass, but like dispatch, they're probably like still learning new tricks and tips and tricks, trying to figure out how to throw their troops at Freeman in the most effective way. I get that it makes sense, but really, still, they sent 4 guys. I've already torn through like hundreds of them, and you're going to just, throw 4 guys at me at the end of I just took down a fucking gunship. Or maybe they expected that the gunship would finish me. Yeah, that actually makes sense. They expected the gunship would, take care of me, and those guys were just, there for looks. But anyway, back on track, back on the road, and the force field is down, and we're now actually free to explore this entire area. There's not that much going on, but look, there's like one last thing that I discovered. If you go back, suddenly more troops reappear down there. Just out of nowhere, you can actually even see them do that. It's totally hilarious. Now, I'm not sure if this bug or glitch has been fixed in the newer Steam version, really. I'm not claiming anything. For all I know, it might have been fixed a long time ago, and this is just like the older version of the game. But it is what it is, and it's just funny. And if you, do it again, really just double back and do it again, they will see more Combine troops. It's just funny. This is really just funny. And now, I'm actually going to leave them alone, and I'm going to see if I can lure them out onto the tracks, if I can lure them out into the bacon sun, like lizards, right? Get them to follow me down the tracks. Come on, guys. Are you guys following me? Good. Well, no, not really. Well, that sucks. But anyway, I have no time to mess around. I gotta wrap up this episode and get to the next chapter, that is sand traps.
Tell you what, let's talk about
Damn train!
Remember that razor train you have to beat to the other side of the tracks before it knocks you sky high? Well, guess what? It's possible to bring this razor train to a full stop simply by placing junk on the tracks in front of it. Rarely the train may get stalled out the second it runs over the object, but more often than not, it won't stop until it reaches the force field that seals off the tunnel nearby, which can't let any foreign object, however small, pass through. So placing, let's say, a pot or a skillet or whatever between the train and the force field will jam the train so bad it will just quit it. Funny enough, it takes so much as touching the train to get yourself killed instantly, but that only goes as far as the actual train cab, not the rest of it. Oh, and that Overwatch squad that mans the village nearby, they can be lured out into the oncoming train's path, only to get run down like a bunch of dummies. Come on guys, all he had to do was dodge the damn
train!
But it only gets better from here. This train can actually be written. Stack some crates to climb on top of the old train cars just the next track over. Then wait for the raisin train to come blasting by. Then just leap and land on the razor train. The ride won't last very long though, as you will be knocked off the train the second you get to the tunnel with the force field. Like I said, the force field doesn't really like foreign objects, and Freeman, being a foreigner, he ain't a damn train, so that checks out. Also, you don't really have to race against it to the other side of the track. I know it kinda looks tempting, but you don't have to. Just leave the scout car behind, safe and sound, while you get out and move on ahead on foot. Just stay out of the train's way and you'll be good. Soon enough, you'll set off the trigger that spawns the razor train. Just let it pass while you stay out of its way. Then just hop back in the scout car and carry on. But now, that sounds like a train. That sounds like an oncoming train. Now, there's 2 ways you can do it. You can beat that train to the other side, or you can just turn around and, wait this one out, or sit this one out while it blasts by like this. This is a razor train. It's one of those trains that supply Nova Prospekt with troops, and City 17 with troops, coming from Nova Prospekt. And, well, there goes my plan to get these guys run over by the train. But whatever, you know what? They get to live today. I don't care. I might as well just leave them behind as my little personal calling card. Like how sometimes you gotta, knock off a few heads, but, keep a few heads on top of their shoulders just to send a message. This is my message. they're gonna go crawling back to Breen and report that they saw Freeman himself and they were in shock and awe. And something is off about this is like the control bridge. This is where we came from. This is where we had to go all the way like across the underbelly of the bridge, right? Like remember shimmying across those struts. And now if you kind of, again, it's all about hitting the right angle. There it is. There's that area. But of course it looks different. It's, you know, not as detailed or rendered because why would it be, right? What is the point? And back here behind these train cars, there's another watchtower with absolutely nothing going on. Again, I know, I'm kind of dragging my feet, but I really just want to check, you know, check every nook and cranny, make sure nothing, you know, slips past me. And there's this other train car, which is oddly detailed too. It even has that, like, some kind of interior over there behind, you know, some transparent glass. Because normally, you know, these, like, dummy, what would you call them? Just like, well, not like, this is not a real train. Why would it be so highly detailed, right? It's just there for looks, but whatever. I don't know. Just goes to show how much effort was put into this game. And over here, if you really like pull up for a second, there's this little, you know, cliff that goes down. You can even, oh, what a drop. Yeah, nice. And the sky, the horizon is not loving me today. It's totally freaking out. Well, there goes chapter Highway 17, boys and girls. We're almost to the end of it. Almost. There's just like a few more things to do. There's this old collapsed bridge. Whatever knocked it down, I don't know, whether from like years of disrepair or little to no maintenance, or maybe, you know, I don't know, an earthquake happened, or maybe the Combine even destroyed it on purpose. Who knows? You can actually investigate the rubble that are underneath this bridge. And to be completely honest, I'm only doing this for the very first time. And back here, there's, well, nothing. Yeah, actually, I mean it. This is the first time in all the years that I've played Half-Life 2 that I actually stopped to investigate what's underneath it, just out of curiosity. So just drive up this little ramp, and we're pulling into another tunnel. How I love tunnels. But we're gonna break it off here, guys, because this is it. This is, we're now pulling into the next chapter. That is Chapter 8, Sand Traps. So we're gonna be doing that in the next episode. For now, thanks for watching it, and I'll see you in the next one. By the way, listen to the like ambient sounds of this tunnel. It's creepy.